This is your invitation to elevate the next 10 minutes by reflecting on the creation of excellence. Convene here with me, Joya, along with other entrepreneurs who revel in building high-end businesses and flourishing lives. Now, let's rise.
Ask me why.
On this, the inaugural episode of elevate10, I'm delighted to have with me someone who is not only a brilliant fitness coach and wise, sagacious thinker, but also a dear longtime friend, Francisco Villalobos. Thank you for joining me today. So tell us, what does excellence mean to you and your work with Inner Strength Fitness?
That's an excellent question. I mean, Inner Strength Fitness is a strength coaching service that specializes in working with people who are generally 45 and older, usually middle-aged into seniors. My oldest client is just about to turn 90. So I've had a lot of time over the last quarter century or so that I've been doing this to think about what excellence means in coaching them and this particular niche. So I'd say probably first and foremost, it's tailoring strength building programs for these types of individuals with orthopedic limitations usually. It's often said that youth is wasted on the young and that they often lack the wisdom that we have later on. And part of that is that they don't have the experience usually of the injuries and orthopedic limitations that people know when they're reached their fifth or sixth decade. And so as a coach, I'm very good at this point at formulating programs and individual workouts and monitoring exactly what to give my clients on a workout to workout basis that is specific to their limitations and keeping them in the game in effect by always tailoring it to what it is they can and cannot do any given day. I think a second thing that excellence entails when you're working with this niche is the philosophy of building them up without beating them up. Progressing them in a way that is sufficiently challenging to make them significantly stronger, but doing so in a gradual enough manner so that they are willing to adopt strength training as a lifelong habit, so they buy into it, right? I see exercise as a medical intervention, a highly effective one, even compared to pharmacological interventions. But like all medications, it has to be dosed properly. So with the stress of exercise, I'm always looking to administer the minimal effective dose so that they can get a beneficial adaptation, but so they keep coming and they keep this as part of their lifestyle. I think another important aspect of excellence when you're working with this niche is to make your sessions extremely time efficient. Now, this doesn't just mean showing up on time, but you'd be surprised how unprofessional some trainers can be in that respect. But I'm talking about making the session highly time efficient from the standpoint of the exercises they're going to perform, how much volume they perform, how devoted you are to teaching them how to correct every movement error, but in a time efficient manner so that you don't spend a lot of the session time lecturing. It's all about making every minute of every session as productive as possible so that the client can get all the benefits of their exercise prescription and then get on with their day. I don't train professional strength athletes. I train people who want to be as strong as they can be so they can get the most out of all the activities of their day. Strength training is instrumental for them, not an end in itself. Young coaches that love to train and see the gym as a home away from home often lose sight of this and at their client's peril. And I think finally, an important aspect of coaching excellence for this niche especially is building the kind of confidence that really picks up on every win so that they can build a steady track record of achievement that inspires a deep sense of agency and self-reliance. So I try to celebrate every little self-correction that they make, every act of perseverance, every act of grit. I want to create a sense of independence, a sense that they don't need me all the time or forever to become stronger and maintain their strength. And that ultimately, they are the only person responsible for their health. You know, I've worked with people that are even severely health compromised, Parkinson's, dementia. And at the end of the day, I want to teach them that despite all that, their health issues may not be their fault, but it's still their responsibility to live their life to the fullest and to do what is necessary to make that happen. So I would say those are the 4 hallmarks of excellence, especially in my mind when working with this niche, which is an older niche, middle-aged through seniors.
That's beautiful. And I love how you even express it as hallmarks of excellence. I think everybody needs such frameworks as entrepreneurs as we think about our businesses. So, in our final minutes, I'm curious to hear, because excellence is all about values, what you identify as the core values that drive your life, and just perhaps an example from either business or your personal life of how you practice one of those values.
Yeah, I probably, since I spend so much time working and caring about these individuals, even when I'm not with them, thinking about the next session and how I'm going to make things better for them. I'm constantly thinking about these values, life values, in that context, in the business context. So I think probably most important is respect for rationality. And that usually expresses itself in terms of my constant desire to improve in my precision, in how I explain myself to my clients, and how I ready myself to answer any and every question that they may throw at me. There's a wonderful saying from an old clothing store for men. It was, an informed consumer is our best customer. I think the company was called Sims, SYMS. And I love that. And I live by that, that it just, you need to respect the rationality of every client, being prepared to educate them and to communicate with them concisely, professionally, eloquently, powerfully. That's all important. I think secondly, another very important value, professionalism, both privately and publicly across all professional and personal media platforms. I don't get into flame wars with other fitness professionals. I do my thing and I do my best by my clients. I focus on creating a valuable, transformational experience, and I let others worry about debating the intricacies of exercise science and nutrition online. And I think lastly, very important value is empathy. I walk the walk that I ask my clients to walk. One of the things that makes me an excellent strength coach is that I know what it takes to build significant levels of strength, to set a goal for a workout session and not know for sure if I can achieve it, to recover from countless injuries and the vicissitudes of life's constant challenges to one's health, one's mobility, and even one's ability to make time to make exercise a non-negotiable priority. So because I've walked that walk, I can communicate expectations and hopes to my clients in a way that really resonates with them, and where they feel like, oh gosh, Francisco has done it. I can't let him down. He's like the president of my fan club. You know, I'm all about it. And so those 3 things: respect for rationality and for their cognitive needs, professionalism, and empathy.
Thank you so much, Francisco.
My pleasure.